everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney, and today I'm going to be doing my February budget. I'm going to start on this page just because I haven't talked about it before, and basically I really do think that it's good to set up goals. And I like to put a quote in here just to kind of inspire me to keep going. So I'm going to fill in the quote page, and I'm going to fill in a couple goals, and then we will go ahead and get into the actual budget. And I will admit, some of these are more inspirational than others. This one is kind of just reminding me not to spend money before I have it, and basically just don't go into debt. I know, it's super super interesting, but like I said, just little quotes like this really inspire me to keep going. Even if it's not like super inspiring, just knowing that I have this to reference back to pushes me a little bit more. So my monthly goals, I am not a good goal setter. I'm more of a focus on the small picture person. Like, I don't really think big picture a lot, so it is kind of hard for me sometimes to set monthly goals, but I'm going to set a goal of cash flowing new brakes. I would like to be able to pay for my brakes by the end of the month. The guy who fixes my car told me that I could make it till spring, but honestly, brakes make me super nervous, and my car is the type of car that would have some freak accident and the brakes would go, and then, you know, I would total my car and I'd be in a worse situation than I am now, having to pay for my brakes early. So I know that sounds so stupid, and maybe I'm just paranoid, but cash flowing new brakes for this month is really important to me. I'm going to write staying in budget for my garden. I just bought some more seeds, and I'm going to start collecting supplies like potting soil, seed mix, stuff like that, to start some seeds at the end of the month, probably early next month. But I know that I'm going to have some impulse control issues when it comes to buying gardening supplies and seeds, because I'm addicted to them and I love them. So staying in my garden budget is huge for me this month, probably until like May or June. This is probably going to be a monthly goal for me, just so I don't forget. And honestly, I think that's going to be it for now. I know that's not a ton, but like I said, I'm more of a small picture kind of person, not a big picture person, so 2 goals a month for me is kind of a lot, which is embarrassing, but I mean, whatever. So let me flip to the next page, and we will start my monthly budget. Okay, so I kind of set things up already, just to make sure that I had all my spacing right. I obviously made a little bit of a mistake, but hopefully I can hide that inside of the word. When I first started my channel, I made sure that everybody knew that I was going to be totally transparent with all of my mistakes, and I obviously have not changed. I'm a real person. I make real mistakes. Sometimes things don't look pretty all the time, so I made a mistake. I'm gonna hopefully fix it. But basically, I feel like I've said basically a lot in this video and my last video, so I'm going to try not to say it again, but I'm going to start with PayPal. Now, PayPal gets $84 every single month. And this is my new minimum payment. I added my Credit One minimum payment to my PayPal minimum payment when I paid off my Credit One credit card. So this was only like $16, but when I paid off my Credit One, I added it to this, and that's kind of where you get that snowball effect. Next is my car loan, and this is $200 a month. Now I will admit that my car loan is actually only like $197, but something about that number kind of bugged me, so I've just been paying $200 since I got my car, because I like round numbers better, and that just always seemed to make more sense to me. So I don't know if you guys do that. Let me know below if you round up any of your minimum payments. Next is my private student loan. This is $218 a month. And this is the one in my last video that I told you I literally, with interest, it looks like I only paid $5. Whatever. I'm not going to get back on that rant, because I'll just go off about federal loans again. My federal loan payment is $71. Next I do Spotify. Boop. See? I fixed my mistake. Spotify is $10 a month, and I'm going to be totally honest with you, I really am considering canceling this because I was only paying like $3.99 a month when I was a student, and obviously I'm not a student anymore, so they upped it to $10, and I think that's just kind of extreme. And I do know that there's a way to kind of get around it, but I don't want to break any rules, but I also don't want to pay $10. So I do think I'm going to cancel that membership. And then next is my Planet Fitness, which again, I haven't been there in like a year and a half. And I do have access to a free gym at my high school alma mater, but I don't like that gym at all. It makes me super uncomfortable being around people that I went to high school with, just because I was like a super awkward kid in high school, and I still am obviously super awkward and don't want to be around them. So I have been walking around the track at that gym with my mom and my sister, but I am hoping to get back to Planet Fitness in the very near future. So I haven't closed that out yet. But I do have an annual fee in September of $40. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. These two probably should get cut, but I don't know. I just haven't made the move yet. So my monthly total of bills and expenses is $593.00. Next, I'm going to move up to my cash and savings. These are the cash envelopes that I keep in my wallet at all times. So this should actually say cash envelope, not cash and savings, but that's okay. So the first one is gas. I budget $120 a month for gas. So that's $60 per pay period, because I get paid twice a month. Spending is going to be $120. So also this is $60 every other week, I should say, because there are months where I get 3 paychecks, not 2. So it's kind of weird, but spending is $120. Groceries is also $120. I have considered increasing this budget just because the past like couple pay periods I've been having a really hard time staying within this budget, because my boyfriend and I have been cooking at our apartment a lot more often than we used to. I really wanted to be healthier, so I told him we can't eat out anymore, even though he pays for it. So we've been cooking here more. But that means that my grocery bill has gone up significantly. So I have thought about increasing this. Even $20 a pay period would help a lot. But for now, I'm going to keep it at $120 a month. And then date night gets $100 a month, because like I explained in my weekly or my paycheck budgets that my boyfriend and I like to split date night so that not one person is always paying. So this total is $460. And then next I have my sinking funds, which you see another mistake there, but oh well. I mean, ultimately it's my planner, so it really doesn't matter. But I'm going to start with my apartment sinking fund. This is the one that both myself and my boyfriend contribute into, and that is $40 per pay period. So the monthly amount is $80. And a sinking fund is basically a specific savings account. So these are things that I know are coming up in the near future. Like, the next category is medical. I get allergy shots every 3 weeks, and I know that's going to be a $30 expense every month. So I do $20 per pay period. So $40 a month I put towards my allergy shots or cough medicine or prescriptions or whatever that may be. Also, I don't have health insurance right now because my new employer, there's a 3-month wait. So right now this has really been helping a lot because all of my medical bills are slightly more than what they would normally be. Next is my car, which is also $40 a month. This just got completely wiped out because of my wheel bearing, and like I said, I need brakes now, so I'm going to cash flow new brakes. Next is gifts, and this gets $20 a month. Next is my boyfriend's sinking fund. This is primarily for his birthday or Valentine's Day, or if, you know, I just want to give him a special treat. That is also $10 a pay period, so $20 a month. I have my garden sinking fund, which is $20 a month. And then I have my travel, and that is also $20 a month. Now I know that these numbers don't sound very large, especially since this is a monthly view, but it does add up really fast, especially if you're not using it, which, I mean, I guess really, like, yes, you have this money to spend if you need it, but honestly, I think a lot harder about, you know, what gift I'm giving to somebody, who I'm giving gifts to. So even though I do save money for certain things, I think harder about whether I want to spend the money or not, especially for the travel envelope. Like, my boyfriend and I love to travel, and I do have the money to, you know, get a hotel room somewhere, but it makes me think a little bit harder about, well, do I want to save even longer so that I can do, you know, a 2-night hotel room or go somewhere even better, which I think has been a major behavior change for me, because I used to just spend money on whatever I wanted to spend money on. And since creating my budget, I've thought a lot harder about where my money is going. So this total is $240. So now what I do is I take the total of all three categories and add them together. And I'm going to put it under total budgeted amount, which is, $1,293. Yeah. I really need to invest in whiteout. Next, I take my income and put that up here. And my income this month should be $1,573.24. Now I would like to mention that these are all, well, except for these ones, these are all estimates. So basically what happens is if something, like if I were to miss a day of work and my income wasn't as high as I thought it was going to be, my sinking funds, either they don't get funded or the amount gets lowered. So if I can't afford to put $10 in my garden fund one pay period, it might only get $5, or it might not get any money. So these are all estimates. And also these are all estimates. I budget for this amount, and this is what I get out of my checking account every pay period. Well, I get $60 for gas out of my checking account for each pay period, but if I don't use all $60 for my gas money, that goes towards my debt snowball, which you see, you know, in my week or my paycheck budget. And I'm sure that makes more sense in my paycheck budget, but I did want to mention that these are pretty much just estimate numbers. This is so that I can get a general overview of my monthly budget. I don't want you to think that if you make a monthly budget, you have to stick to it 100%, because I know that some incomes are very variable. And these sinking funds are 100% negotiable. Like, I can easily not fund this entire category and have an extra $240 to put towards, you know, my bills and expenses or my cash and my savings. And, you know, when my medical insurance does kick in March and I have an extra $140 coming out of my paycheck, this very easily could go away. So obviously that's something that I'm gonna have to see what happens in March, but I just want you to know that, like, making a budget, you don't have to stick to it 100%. Obviously you don't want to go over budget. I encourage you to go under budget, but if you have to move some of these numbers around, it's not a big deal. It really isn't. Like I said, you can get whiteout, or you can, you know, change it in your week-to-week budget or your paycheck budget or whatever you do. And in March, you will likely see me do that. I will set up my monthly budget, and I'm betting you, well, I don't really bet anymore, but I bet you like 10 likes that my sinking funds will change next month. Just because my health insurance kicks in and I'm gonna have, you know, a lot more money coming out of my paycheck than I'm used to. But now that I'm done with that tangent, I'm gonna find out my estimated debt snowball payment for the month of February. So what I do is I take my total income and I subtract my total budgeted amount from that. So my total debt snowball payment should be $280. Like I said, that's an estimate. I have no idea if it'll actually be $280. It may be more because I didn't use all of this money, or it may be less because I have to get new brakes. And that's kind of why I like having this debt snowball payment built into my budget, because if I have an emergency come up, I can take it from my debt snowball payment and I don't have to take it from my emergency fund. I know not everybody's going to like to do it that way, and I know that it's not completely the Dave Ramsey way, but this is what works for me. And I don't show you my budget to make you think that you have to budget this way. I show you my budget so that way you can get some ideas or inspiration to create your own and what works for you. Because I do know that some people absolutely hate writing it out and they would much rather have an Excel sheet on their computer, but that's just not me. So to each their own. But that is my February budget. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment bar or comment section, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!